Do you sense it like I do? The lack of social connection that is harming so many of us individually and all of us collectively? When we connect with others, we find opportunities to strengthen our health and theirs, and our community's resilience. But when we are in a state of social disconnection, we suffer, both individually and collectively. Perhaps you agree. The deficit in social connection we now face has become so massive and urgent, it is impossible to ignore. On the health side, high levels of social isolation and loneliness are helping to drive adverse mental health and substance abuse outcomes like depression, anxiety, drug overdoses, and suicides, which combined now afflict 40% of Americans. On the community resilience side, our capacity to act for the common good is being stymied by polarizing fault lines, from systemic racism and wealth inequality to our society's response to COVID-19, as well as the divides giving rise to the recent Black Lives Matter and Capitol Hill riots. Like the health side, the common denominator underlying these divides is a lack of connectedness with others. My name is Dr. Harris Allen. With more than 35 years of experience in health and healthcare, I have a proposal. Let's publicly acknowledge this deficit and tackle it with intention. Let's focus on a simple remedial step that is within easy reach in our daily lives: fostering social connection. It is evident that many of us can do more to reach out and connect with others. In fact, the more that we are able to work through any anxieties that arise and connect with others whose demographics, histories, and circumstances differ from our own, the more we contribute to the reduction of this deficit. A chance meeting that I described in an Atlanta Journal-Constitution op-ed this past July illustrates what I mean by this step. On June 4th, I took part in a Black Lives Matter march, during which I happened upon a Georgia National Guardsman. We had a frank yet respectful conversation. It turns out that he was Major General Tom Carden, the Adjutant General. We have since stayed in communication, a fine example of what I have come to see as beyond tribe social connection at work. This step is all too often glossed over in policy prescriptions. It's as if we have a collective blind spot. What is needed is a new, systemic, nonpartisan effort that encourages individuals to freely reach out and choose to connect with others both within and especially beyond their tribes. The focus also needs to be on institutional stakeholders like government, employers, nonprofits, places of worship, schools, the media. The more these stakeholders advance cultures that support connectedness, the greater the chances for success. As outlined in a recent call to action, I suggest that this effort position the fostering of social connection as a new civic responsibility for us to engage in as good citizens. This effort needs to include a broad-based educational campaign to raise public awareness. It also needs to include what have been labeled beyond the medical model interventions. These interventions are in current use and can serve as new models. They draw upon existing evidence and resources to improve health and bridge divides while complying with pandemic guidelines. Many of the details need attention. For example, how to expand on these models, who should lead this effort, how to fund it. Yet, if more public dialogue ensues, then this call to action will have served its purpose. Let's embrace the full magnitude of the opportunity in front of us and begin to act. Here is my contact information. If you're interested, I hope we'll hear from you. Thank you.